I'll have to make a confession and tell your secret before the questions come, and I have to speak English because I want Steve to know. But the confession is, my wife says that I have only two neurons, one that goes up and one that comes down. So I can't do two things or two tasks at the same time. And I think, and Monica, my wife, told this to Steve, and he could be sure of this because I drove in Salvador with him, and he talked to me all the time. How many mistakes did I do while driving?
Many.
So I will just read. Don't ask me to give my opinion. So, let me see. There are so many long questions. So these ones are short. But you can read them. They are in English.
Two anti-paradigm questions. One, why reboxetine was not a good anti-pain medication? Well, I'm not sure that it is not. There are norepinephrine selective reuptake inhibitors that are in testing now for chronic pain. I think the answer is that reboxetine wasn't well studied. Also, my colleague at UCSD, Hamp Atkinson, did a study of meprodoline and a study of paroxetine in low back pain. And he showed with two replications that paroxetine was not effective and meprodoline was effective. So you could say it's a tricyclic and it wasn't norepinephrine, and reboxetine would be a better test of that. But I have seen data from animal studies. You'll see after the break, if you give reboxetine to a rat or SSRI to a rat, in pain models, the reboxetine will work and the paroxetine will not work. So I think that maybe there's some problems with the human studies. The other possibility is that since reboxetine works in rats, that we need to study it in politicians, not humans. Because politicians are not humans, they're rats. Are SSRIs better than SNRIs for gastrointestinal experience of pain because of the peripheral 5-HT receptor in the gut? Maybe, maybe not. I mean, as you know, 5-HT3 antagonists are good for some of the, at least the nausea and diarrhea of some cases, but maybe not for pain. Nausea and diarrhea, yes.
Vou ler a primeira pergunta em português. Por que a carbamazepina funciona na dor neuropática e no transtorno bipolar e na epilepsia, mas não funciona na migrânia? Ou seja, e por que o ácido valproico funciona na migrânia e no transtorno bipolar, mas não funciona na dor neuropática? So, why carbamazepine works in neuropathic pain and in the bipolar disorder and epilepsy, but doesn't work in migraine? And a second question, why valproic acid works in migraine and in bipolar disorder, but it does not work in neuropathic pain?
I think the short answer is I don't know. The long answer is that of the 9 sodium channels, it appears that carbamazepine works on 3 or 4. Topiramate works on some of the same, but 3 or 4 different, and the same thing for valproic. So, although I say sodium channel, it doesn't work on all sodium channels, and I believe it's subtype selective differences that are also causing side effects, because there are different side effects with these medicines as well. Carbamazepine is more sedating, let's say, than oxcarbazepine. And that's probably because different subsets of sodium channels are being blocked. I think that's the answer.
Okay. This one?
What about pain memory? Is it possible to sensitize the hippocampus? Yes, I think that this is the best idea maybe with even PTSD. There's been a famous study on the battleground of Iraq in American soldiers. You may have seen it in the New England Journal of Medicine 1 or 2 years ago. They found that if you had a battle wound and you were given morphine on the battlefield very quickly, clearly your pain got better. If you were, though, a soldier where there was delay in getting you morphine, you suffered pain for a longer period of time. The people who got delayed morphine got much more PTSD than the people who got immediate morphine. Because it's not so much that the pain causes the PTSD, but that the traumatic experience gets blocked by the morphine if you give it immediately, because there's something about the hippocampus which is causing almost an irreversible memory that is synaptic. And so there is a very interesting phenomenon about sensitizing pain memories. And it could well be in the hippocampus. And of course, there are painful emotional memories too. I mean, they're metaphorical pain, in terms of the pain of losing my love or my Porsche, whichever is the most important to me. But pain is pain. There are other spinal cord pathways of pain, posterior funiculus. Boy, fancy answer. Are these pain pathways descending also using serotonin and norepinephrine? I do not believe so. I'm not a neuroanatomist, but I believe there are descending fibers directly from the raphe and locus coeruleus, but I believe they are not in the posterior funiculus. Any idea of why some depressed patients have a kind of analgesia instead of hyperalgesia? Well, it may be possible that they're activating their pain pathways and they don't know it. I mean, Indian meditation can activate all sorts of pathways. And in fact, meditation is one of the best treatments for pain of cancer. And this is probably activating these pathways endogenously. This would be the theory anyway.
I've been told that we should stop
here.
We'll
We'll take more questions at the end.